Who am I? That's a good question. Mrs. Alving, I like to think of her as a modern woman. I don't know, I think she has, even though she's in like 18th century Norway, she's very much like has these feminist undertones in terms of like her beliefs, and she's very much trying to push past like the doctrines of her society and what does it mean to be like a wife and have like difficult marriage relationships. Yeah, I think she's got a lot of grit, and I think she's very much trying to push past the boundaries of like what it means to be like a proper woman, I guess. Yes and no. I think it is quite challenging because you definitely don't want to play into like the stereotype of like an idealist, and there's a lot of ways that you can do that, but I think the challenge for me is to keep that in mind, and like she is pretty idealist in terms of like what she like wants to believe in, and I think in terms of what kind of mother, what kind of like wife she needs to be, rather than the wife and the mother that she wants to be, and I think that there's a clash in what those things are. So I think that in itself was like pretty challenging to like figure out, okay, how do I play this character in a way that makes her like this really strong like female character, but also the flip side of like she's quite vulnerable, and she doesn't know everything, and she's still very much trying to go past the sort of stereotype of like the Norwegian woman in 18th century, because it's very structured, and her place is in the house, and that's the sphere, the domestic sphere that she's in. And so it's just like a conflict in terms of the idealism that's behind her character, and also that she's trying to be this like modern woman with all these like feminist values, I guess, is like the biggest challenge. It's not just one line, but it's a combination of like, because she says it a lot, it's just like she calls her son my dear darling boy Oswald, but she like has so many variations. My dear darling poor blasted boy Oswald, my dear poor Oswald. She says Oswald a lot, so that's my favorite line every time she says that. My dear boy. She's like,
that is like cool. Your moment to speak Oswald in a million different tones, right?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, coming out of a bachelor's degree in drama and like acting and directing, I definitely have like seen my fair share of experiences in terms of like what to do and what not to do, and I think the biggest thing that I've taken from that is just to be truthful and just be present in the moment of like what you're doing. And honestly, if you believe in the circumstances of either if you're auditioning, whatever character you're playing, if you believe and you're like playing it truthfully and not like putting it on as like a mask, then you've won. It's been fun. Like the rehearsal process has been fun. So I would say fun, challenging, but like in a good way, rewarding or refreshing, one of those two, I guess.